Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Wisconsin.
It is a Thursday night, and the Brew Crew, they have returned to their home, Miller Park. The roof is all closed up on a rainy night. The Washington Nationals are here. Bryce Harper emerging as one of the faces of Major League Baseball. He's having a huge season with 20 homers, hitting .328. He is in the lineup for the Nats this evening. And look who's back, Scooter Gennett. After being sent down to AAA, he swung the bat well. He's back in the starting lineup in the big leagues here this evening. Hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park. Great to have you with us. Brian Anderson, Bill Schroeder, Sophia Minard is our reporter tonight. And yes, indeed, the Washington Nationals are here. Many feel like they are a World Series contender, and they might have one of the best players in baseball right now in Bryce Harper. He is putting up tremendous numbers this season.
Yeah, right now he'd be the MVP of the National League. But, you know, the folks around the Washington Nationals say that he has finally matured as a hitter and a player. The guy's 20 years old. It's been amazing to watch the way he's been able to go about his business. A relaxed approach, using the whole field. You can see his hot zones. You don't want to pitch this guy inside, because if you do, he's going to hammer one down the right field line. A lot of his home runs have come to center field and to left field. He has plastered all over the leaderboard in the National League. And the surprising thing about Harper, he's first in walks in the NL. 20 home runs of the 62 hit by the Washington Nationals. You don't want to be in a position to have to throw this guy strikes late in the game.
Well, Bryce Harper is certainly in big company. He is hoping that he is going to have an MVP season. Ryan Braun has won an MVP, and these two hitters have been going along very well since April 28th. Look at their ranks. And this number, this date, off to a slow start for Ryan Braun. This is when he really started to hit. So he and Harper have been two of the most productive hitters in the National League during this stretch since April 28th. Ryan Braun expected to be back in the starting lineup tonight. Matt Garza is on the mound. We'll have a Garza discussion when we continue on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. Brew Crew and the Nats here tonight. Matt Garza on the hill. His season numbers don't reflect what he has done lately. He has allowed only one run in his last 12 innings of work. And Augie, he is looking for his third consecutive win, and that would be a huge stretch for the veteran.
Well, he found that comfort zone. I think it all starts with that fastball. You know, most people think about that breaking ball, but for Matt Garza, he finds comfort in being able to command that fastball. Really has paved the way for that off-speed pitch. Secondly, he's been able to stay away from big innings. Only 3 walks his last 3 starts. When he can do that, you're all keeping yourself in the ballgame, limiting the innings. And lastly, I'll tell you what, he's pitching with good pace and rhythm. Pitching and hit him, good focus. He's got the good focus, and he's pitching well.
He opposes Tanner Roark here tonight. Brewer pitchers over the last 32 innings have only allowed 3 runs. Brewers begin a homestand tonight, a 4-gamer against the Nats. It's coming up next.
Leads the Brewers out onto the field here tonight. Last time he was on this mound, he had a 5-inning win out of relief. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. Roof is all closed up. A cool, rainy night in the month of June here in Wisconsin. 54 degrees out there, but it's perfect inside Miller Park tonight. We're delighted to have you with us. Starts a 6-game homestand. The Washington Nationals first up, a 4-game series with Matt Williams' club. What a great player he was. Outstanding third baseman, former All-Star. And his Potawatomi batting order for the Nationals. Denard Span leads off. Anthony Rendon hits second. Then Yunel Escobar. Middle of the order is Bryce Harper, Wilson Ramos, Danny Espinoza. Espinoza gets the start tonight for Ian Desmond. Clint Robinson will be at first base. Michael Taylor in left field, and Tanner Roark is on the mound. No Ryan Zimmerman. He is on the disabled list. The Nationals put him on the DL today. That's one bat Garza won't have to deal with. And Rocky's going along pretty well his last couple of outings.
Yeah, let's start with that 5 innings out of the bullpen in that 17-inning game on the final game of that homestand for the Brewers before they left for the road. He's having a tough time here at Miller Park, including that win in relief. He's 1-4 at home, but as a starter, he has not won a game. 0-4 with an earned run average near 5, but he's won 2 in a row, including a very good outing against the Minnesota Twins. He picked up a win, 7 innings, 6 hits, only 1 run for Garza. He's been pitching inside and has been very effective. Let's check out the Menards Brewers defense. Good to have Scooter Gennett back in the lineup. The Brewers need some production in that second baseman slide. It's been a problem for him offensively. Peterson, Parr, and Braun in the outfield. Ramirez, Segura, Adam Lynn, the rest of the infield, and Jonathan Lucroy behind home plate.
Scooter Gennett, he is glad to be back in the big leagues. Earned his way back. Optioned on May 18th. He returns for tonight's game, June 11. Had a good run down in AAA Colorado Springs. We're set for baseball tonight. The Brewers and the Washington Nationals, a pennant contending team. Washington won in extra innings yesterday afternoon against the Yankees in the Bronx, and they are back in first place in their division to start play today. First pitch of the ball game is in there for a strike, and away we go from Miller Park. Home plate umpire is Tim Welke. He is also the crew chief. Mike Everett, Tim Timmons, Todd Tishner is umpiring mates. Span was the star yesterday. He's been playing with back spasms. He has not been himself physically, but he muscled up yesterday and had an infield game-winning RBI hit in the 11th inning of their ball game against the New York Yankees yesterday. Span's been slowed a little bit by those back spasms. He's still hitting .299 overall. Has 5 homers, 19 RBIs, an on-base percentage just shy of .340.
Yeah, which is pretty good for a leadoff hitter these days. Those back spasms slowed him down just a little bit. Not the base stealer that he used to be. He's only got 4 this year. Nationals don't run much. They have been scuffling offensively except for their right fielder.
Now Harper has been the star of stars in the National League. Span with that very unorthodox stance, just a little trigger to try to keep everything closed up. Looks kind of painful.
Yeah,
but it's worked well for him.
Big coil to try and keep that front shoulder closed, whatever it takes.
Tell you, he's got a little gray working in that beard too. You know, you think about Denard Span as this young, speedy outfielder. He sure still does run well, but he's starting to put some years here in the big leagues. One former Twin facing another former Twin, Denard Span and Matt Garza. How about those numbers? Hitting .411 on the road since the 28th of April, so he's picked up his road game. And that ball's whipped into right field. That is way back there, and it is off the wall. Span on his way to second. Braun's throw is off the mark. That'll be a double to start the game.
Well, he dropped the head of the bat on that one. A low fastball. Garza didn't want to walk him. Gave him one, a fastball. Look at it, right down the middle of the plate, and Span able to get good wood on it, down in the zone, and lines it over Braun's head. And Braun gets to it quickly. A good throw, and I think you might have a play on Span at second.
Well, he was the hits leader in the National League last season. The 31-year-old Span is aboard to start this game for the Nats. Here's Anthony Rendon now. But an injury-filled season for Rendon as well. Fantastic young player. Was originally injured in spring training this season. Had a sprained knee.
Only his 7th game this year. He's having a rough time of it. The Nationals are beat up. I think a lot of guys on the disabled list. A couple of their starters. Zimmerman on the DL. Jason Worth, McLeod. They're still hanging in there, though.
Well, Matt Williams in his 2nd season. Team that made it to the postseason last year. They lost to the Giants in the division series round. On the ground, right to the shortstop, Segura. And there is out number 1. Span has to stay put. Well, the Nationals don't make any excuses, but you do have to factor in all of the injuries that they have had this season. They are without Jason Worth. He continues to be bothered by that wrist injury. They're hoping to get him back in August. It's a huge bat and a huge leader to get back. They had to put Ryan Zimmerman on the disabled list today with a left foot injury. They've had some problems in their pitching as well. Steven Strasburg and Doug Fister both on the disabled list. Yunel Escobar playing third base this evening for Washington. Lines it right to Segura. And 2 swings producing 2 quick outs for Matt Garza.
And that's one of the things that Garza has been doing a very good job of lately, pitching inside. It's one of the big differences in Garza's last couple of appearances. 1 out of the pen, 1 start. Very aggressive on the inside corner.
And that'll be key with this guy coming up, as Rock pointed out in our open. Harper has 0 home runs on pitches on the inner half of the plate. All 20 of his homers have come in the middle of the plate. If you break it up into thirds, the middle of the plate and on the outside corner. He's been a different hitter this year. He's always been a good hitter, but he is a major force with the power game this season.
And he stands right on top of home plate. One of the reasons that he's not able to really pull that pitch inside is because it's right on top of him. Well, that front foot's going to get closed. It's going to come toward third, and he is a patient hitter. He leads the National League in walks. There you see the hot zone right there. There's the home run chart. Everything that's inside on the inside corner, he's not been able to turn on and hit for power. But a lot of the pitches that are down the middle and away, a lot of those pitches ends up at home runs in the right field because he's so close to the plate.
Harper leads the National League in slugging percentage, extra base hits, and walks coming in. Has the highest OPS in all of baseball to start play today. And you can say all you want about hitting that inside corner, and that's definitely a tough spot for any hitter, but Harper especially. But Rock, it is so hard to thread the needle in there for a right-handed pitcher with the way Harper standing right on top of that plate.
Pitching inside has been a lost art, frankly. Not many can do it effectively.
2-0 to Harper. And upstairs, ball 3.
Everybody's going to try and pitch him in. They do the same thing to Braun, but a lot of times they leave it out over the plate. They miss inside. They're not going to swing at it in there until they have to. That's where you pitch good hitters, inside. Look how close that back foot is. He is right on top of home plate.
3 balls, no strikes. Let's see if he has the green light here. And he does. And he swings and fouls it back. And Garza gave him a little wrinkle. Took something off that pitch. Came in at 84 miles an hour.
His off-speed stuff was very good in Minnesota. He had some men on base in the middle part of the ball game. Was able to wiggle himself out of trouble. And there were times when he was behind in the count. The breaking ball was kind of the savior for him.
Three balls and a strike on Bryce Harper. Span at second. Garza will take a look at him. Last year, Harper limited to just 100 games. Injured his left thumb in April. Ended up requiring surgery on that thumb. Little jam shot. Segura had to play it on a hop. Barehands it. The throw gets away, and a run is going to score. Span is in. Boy, the Brewers had an out right in front of him to end the inning. Instead, Harper will head to second base. And Span comes in. It's 1-0.
That was a heck of a play by Segura to be able to grab it barehanded with the way this ball was spinning, but not able to get enough on it. Now, if you're Adam Lind in that situation, you have to do what you have to do to keep it in front of you. Not a good play by Lind. You got to come off the bag, make sure you keep it in front of you so the run doesn't score. Tried to pick it, ended up in the seats.
That'll be an E6. Garza come all the way back, made a good pitch, got in on the hands of Harper. But instead it turns into a run. The Brewers defense on the road trip was spectacular. And Segura was right in the middle of it. He made a number of highlight reel plays. That was a tough play, but certainly one that he'll tell you he should have made.
Yeah, the tough part of the play was getting the bare hand on that, the way the ball was spinning. That was the difficult part of the play. And he had some time to get Harper.
The Nationals catcher Wilson Ramos got Harper at second. And a swing and a foul, and it's quickly 0-2.
Yeah, your first job as a first baseman is to catch the baseball. Secondary to that is keeping your foot on the bag. In a situation like that, you got to do whatever you can, whether you get the out at first or not, with a man at second and 2 outs.
No balls, 2 strikes. Harper at second base, and Ramos takes one off the plate. Washington went on a great run to get themselves back in the picture and back into first place in the National League East. They are a half a game ahead of the Mets to start play today, but they went through a stretch, Rock. They won 16 out of 20 games through the month of May. Mid-May is when that streak ended. So now over their last 19 games they are 8-11. Coming off a stretch where they were 16-4. It feels like an underachieving team right now, but there's a lot of baseball in there, in a great position. They've dealt with injuries. This is a team that's set up pretty well.
I mean, once their starting pitching gets healthy again, 2 of their big boys in that rotation are out. That's not going to help.
Extremely high expectations in DC this year with this ball club. Here's a 1-2. Ramos on the ground. Ramirez will have some time, and that will retire the side. It'll be an unearned run. An error by Segura leads to the first run of the game. Now the Brewers are coming up for the first time. Now the Brewers coming up, and Craig Counsell making some changes in his batting order here tonight. Carlos Gomez is out once again. They're trying to rest his leg. Sophia will have more on that story in a little bit. So he's got Jonathan Lucroy hitting leadoff, the Brewer catcher in a leadoff position tonight. Then Parra followed by Braun, Lind, Ramirez, and Shane Peterson. It'll be Gene Segura, Scooter Gennett, and Matt Garza rounding out the Potawatomi Brewers batting order to face Tanner Roark, making his 4th start of the year, Rock.
Yeah, he started in the bullpen, made his first start on May 25th with all the injuries that we were talking about. The starting rotation, Doug Fister going on the disabled list, Roark back in the rotation. He made a start against Milwaukee. He got a win last July. He was 15-10 last year with the Nationals, threw almost 200 innings. He was very effective out of the starting rotation.
Yeah, had a terrific year last year, throwing a lot harder out of the bullpen than he does as a starter, and that's the case for most pitchers. But he'll sit around 90, 92, but he's got a little something when he needs it, right?
Yeah, he'll reach back once in a while and give you 95. Got some good movement. Going down, ground ball pitcher. The Brewers saw a couple of those guys in Pittsburgh.
Well, Lucroy in the leadoff spot tonight. That's news in Major League Baseball. You rarely see catchers hit leadoff. The one guy who did it the most, a former Brewer, Jason Kendall. And a bouncer foul. Kendall was a regular in the leadoff spot, and he's the last Brewer to hit leadoff back in July of 2009. Kendall led off at least 50 times a season, 5 different seasons, and he's the only catcher to ever lead off at least 50 games in a season. That was a normal position for him.
Yeah.
This is not a normal position for Jonathan Lucroy, but certainly a guy who can handle the task.
And Craig Counsell trying what he can. I mean, trying anything to try and jumpstart this offense. Even though the Brewers had a 5-4 road trip, well, they didn't score a lot of runs. They had a 10-run game in Minnesota, but other than that, it was the pitching that was the reason that they had a decent road trip.
Now, Craig Counsell talking about his lineup construction tonight, and it was pretty simple. He goes, no real rhyme or reason. Counsell is not a big believer in roles and particular spots in the batting order and the stereotypes that you think about of a guy that has to hit leadoff or cleanup. He basically just wanted to separate the right-handers and the left-handers. That's the motivation. As Lucroy bounces to short, Espinoza getting the start for Ian Desmond tonight, and one away for Rowalk in the first.
And let's check out Menard's Nationals defense. In the bottom third in the National League in team defense, 38 errors, but it's a bit deceiving. Ian Desmond, not playing tonight, has 12 of those 38 errors. Other than that, they've been pretty solid. Taylor, Span, and Harper in the outfield. Escobar, Espinoza, Rendon, and Robinson from third to first, and Wilson Ramos behind home plate.
Here's Gerardo Parra in the 2 spot in the batting order here tonight. Familiar spot for him, and able to check his swing. Well, Ryan Braun does return. No Carlos Gomez here tonight. Scooter Gennett returning to the Brewers. A very busy goings on last night after the Pirates game, as Parra sends one into right center off the end of the bat. It's down, a base hit. And a single for Gerardo Parra. A man on for Braun.
Parra's been getting an awful lot of playing time. Injuries in center field. Brian Braun missed some games, and Chris Davis in and out of the lineup, finally landed on the disabled list. So Parra's been pretty much an everyday guy, and he's done a pretty good job.
Well, Sophia is our reporter. She's got a whole pocketbook full of information. What's going on with the club here, Sophia?
Well, Parra in center field for Carlos Gomez, missing his 2nd straight game. Yesterday, Craig Counsell saying it was for sore legs, specifically a groin, but Counsell said it's not of major concern. He's still considered day-to-day. Hopeful he'll be back tomorrow, but likely this weekend.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Here's Ryan Braun now with a man at first. Now, Braun had to leave yesterday's game. Dizziness. Turns out he had some fluid on his eardrum, which is what was reported after the game last night. Weren't sure why Braun left other than the original diagnosis of dizziness. He said he was feeling very sick to his stomach, feeling nauseous and dizzy, and you could tell it in his first 2 at-bats. He didn't look like himself yesterday.
He didn't look like a little off, and now you know why. So good to have him back in the lineup. You need him in there. He and Bryce Harper have been battling it out with RBIs in the National League.
Yeah, Braun and Harper leading the major leagues in RBIs since April 28th. 36 RBIs apiece.
You see how deep Harper is in right for Ryan Braun? I mean, he's about a couple of strides off the warning track. That's about as deep as you're going to see an outfielder with a right-handed hitter up. A right fielder. A lot of room in front of him.
No balls, 2 strikes on Braun. Now there's a patch out there in right field where they've had to replace the grass. That little patches there because that's where most of the right fielders stand. So while the Brewers were away, they put some new turf in there because the old turf is worn down, and gives you an idea where most outfielders play and where Bryce Harper is playing.
He's going to get a chance to grow a little bit, at least half the games in this series.
Right. That ball's hammered into left center. All the way to the wall it goes. And Parra, round third, will score easily. Braun thinking about three. He's on his way. And it's an RBI triple. And just like that, we're all tied up. On a 1-2 pitch, Ryan Braun with his first triple of the year.
That's amazing how that ball just jumps off his bat. I mean, gets good extension on it. A 1-2 pitch, and Braun just hammers it out there into the gap. They had Spain shaded toward right. It hits the corner out there, and that's why Parra is able to score. And Braun into third base. Boy, that kid can hit. I'm telling you. That ball just jumps off his bat and into the gap.
He can thank Robin Yount for that triple. That little cutout into the wall was a Robin Yount design for that very purpose. Would promote more triples. Very exciting play in the game.
There aren't many triples ballparks left. I guess Pittsburgh's one of them in the gap. And when you don't play out there all that often like Span, I mean, that doesn't spend a lot of time out there. At Miller Park, fold him a little bit in the gap.
Adam Lind with one away, swings and lifts one in the air. That's going to be very shallow and going to be close here with Braun. He'll bluff a go as Rendon makes a catch. Second out of the inning.
Just the extension that Ryan Braun gets. I mean, look at the head, right down, follows through high, and gets that good backspin. And it just jumps out like a rocket into right center field, left center field. Has that special sound when he hits it.
It does. You can always tell the big hitters just by the sound that it makes. Braun still huffing and puffing over there. Here's Aramis Ramirez with two away now. Roark's done his homework. Starts Ramirez with a first pitch breaking ball.
Yeah, at this point, is it a secret right now? I mean, how many years has he been in the league? And he's been doing it every year.
Yeah, he's been swinging at first pitches a lot.
Yeah. It's okay.
Right off the end of the bat. And Roark will make the play to end the inning. But Ryan Braun gets the run right back. Nats score an unearned run in the top of the first. Brewers get an earned run in the bottom half. Ryan Braun with his first triple of the year. All tied at one, headed to the second. bottom of the first inning. We're all even at 1 here. Our T-Mobile game changer. How about we talk a little pitching, and specifically starting pitching. Brewers starters ERA by month. It got off to a dreadful start, the highest in the major leagues in April, but in the month of June, Rock, they have really turned the corner. Second lowest ERA in the month of June, and the pitching overall was just outstanding on the last road trip.
Yeah, starting rotation, bullpen very good. The success of the starting rotation eating up innings is going to help the bullpen, but I think it's a philosophical difference as the season has gone on. You can really notice the Brewers pitching more inside, and it's been effective.
First man up, Danny Espinosa. He swings and fouls it away. I didn't even recognize Espinosa when the Nats arrived at the ballpark today. He looks like just kind of a regular guy there, because the way I remember Espinosa was the Yosemite Sam mustache.
Look at it. There it is.
That is a thing of beauty.
Up on the scoreboard, clean shaven now.
I was hoping to see that again. Into center field, long run for Parra. He lays out. He's got it. Showing that Gold Glove form, Gerardo Parra. One away here in the second inning.
And it doesn't matter where you put him. Left field, center field, right field. He's going to be able to make the plays in every position out there, and makes another good one. He's something else. He's a heck of an outfielder. The Brewers very glad that they have him on the roster with all the injuries to the rest of this outfield.
He's been playing a lot this year. Chris Davis still on the disabled list, out with knee surgery. Going to miss about a month to 6 weeks. Gomez out of the lineup today, as Sophia reported. Just trying to get him off his feet. Some nagging leg injuries. Thank goodness for a guy like Parra, who's able to fill in any of those 3 spots. Clint Robinson at the plate. Wow, that is a mile high. That is way out of here. Clint Robinson with his first home run of the season. Ryan Zimmerman on the disabled list today. Clint Robinson gets the start and sends one into the Loge level in deep right field.
Yeah, talking about a guy that stands right on top of home plate. Robinson standing pretty much upright. He's right on top of the plate. He just spins and knocks that one out of here. Look at the uppercut. Finishes high. That is a high, majestic home run in the second deck out there. Got all that one.
Not only his first homer of the season, that's his first career home run. Michael Taylor lines one to Braun. Hit that one like a bullet. Taylor is retired.
Every hitter in this inning, huh?
They're all happy for Clint Robinson, 30 years of age, and he finally has a major league homer. He had a little big league time with the Royals and the Dodgers, but it never hit one out until today at Miller Park.
A little silent treatment after that home run. How about that? There you go. I can't help myself. Good job.
That'll be a moment he does not forget. Robinson's been playing a little bit in the outfield, and he's never gotten a chance to play this much in the big leagues until this season. Got in 9 games with the Dodgers last year, just 4 games with the Royals back in 2012. So he's enjoying every minute of this season.
Just can't wipe the smile off his face after hitting that home run. I don't blame him. I remember my first. It's a big deal.
Who'd you hit your first home run off of?
Al Williams, Minnesota, County Stadium, right field. You want to know the count? What else you want to know? You don't forget it. You never do.
That kid's going to have a nice negotiation coming. Yes, sir. He'll be able to get maybe a signed bat or something, maybe a picture.
Bryce Harper bat. I guarantee it's going to be a Bryce Harper something that gets that baseball back.
Yeah, that would make the negotiation a little easier. It's a 2-2, and there's a called strike. Garza's out of the inning, but the Nats get a home run, the first of his career for Clint Robinson. A game to be played to negotiate this one. That kid caught a home run ball off the bat of Clint Robinson, his first career homer, and I think he just willingly gave that ball up. Good job, son.
I think it's 4 years of college. I'm thinking.
His older brother said, no. Got to get something out of that. That's good work. Good, honest work right there. Giving the ball up. It's a huge moment for Clint Robinson. I'm sure they'll take care of him with something.
Well, he's got the ball. I'm sure something's going to be given to him in return.
Looks like a good family.
Maybe some tickets.
Shane Peterson lines one to right. Another line drive out. Been some hard hit balls in this game for both clubs. Jumping off to a fast start offensively. Peterson is out. First out of the inning. Gets another start in left field tonight.
Peterson hit some balls hard yesterday in Pittsburgh. Lined out to center. Got a base hit to left and a walk. He's starting to swing the bat better.
Here's Segura. He spent a little time in the leadoff spot as well. Had a 10-game hitting streak snapped on Tuesday in Pittsburgh. And then Segura was hitless last night. But he is also in a good place at the plate, swinging the bat well. He looks like the Segura of 2 years ago. Spent some time on the disabled list. 15 days on the disabled list with a fractured right pinky. But it has not affected him coming back at the plate whatsoever. Matter of fact, Segura was a little upset he went on the DL in the first place. He thought he maybe just needed a couple of days. Here's a swing and a miss. Roark. Good breaking ball, and Segura is out. 2 outs in the inning. And that'll bring up Scooter Gennett. Back in a big league stadium, and he's happy about that. Take you back. Steven Strasburg on the mound. Scooter Gennett at the plate. Columbia St. Mary's worth another look.
Yeah, Brewers need some offense out of the second base position. That's been a trouble spot for him all season long. Scooter went down and was swinging the bat pretty well, and hopefully he's going to be able to get back to the hitter he was last year.
His only career grand slam to date. Scooter Gennett. Brewers won't see Strasburg in this series. He's on the disabled list. Nats have 2 of their starters on the DL. Doug Fister is the other. He's close to returning. Fister. Tanner Roark taking the spot in the rotation that was vacated by Fister. They signed Max Scherzer this offseason. He's pitching very well. Scherzer's going to pitch here on Sunday against Taylor Youngman. Well, Gennett went down to AAA and did everything that the Brewers asked him to do, according to Craig Counsell. And it wasn't just about producing, getting your swing back together. There was a lot of elements to his game.
Getting his head right, one of the things. I mean, tighten things up defensively. He was drawing some walks down in the minor leagues. That's another thing the Brewers would like to see more of from Scooter Gennett. A little bit more patient at the plate, get that on base percentage up.
Gennett had 23 hits in 17 games in AAA. Got rave reviews from his manager, Rick Sweet, as he pops this one up. Foul territory. And Escobar in front of his own dugout to make the play, and a 3-up, 3-down inning. First frame without a run. It's 2-1 Nats. We go to the third.
Hotel and Casino back at Miller Park. The Nationals with a 2-1 lead here in the third, and after a 9-game trip, it's always great to be back at Miller Park and see our guy Rick Schlesinger, Brewers Chief Operating Officer. And Rick, on Sunday, it's another bobblehead day. Carlos Gomez being honored. This one's special because he's got his All-Star uniform on.
Right. It wasn't too long ago that it was the All-Star game, and fans love the All-Star. And all fans in attendance on Sunday get an All-Star bobblehead with Gomez, and we're expecting a big crowd, obviously.
And last year you did a promotion over the All-Star break bringing soccer here to Miller Park, and it was so popular you're going to do it again this year, Tuesday, July 14th.
Right. Pitch takes on a new meaning in soccer. We've got Newcastle United, one of the Premier League teams from England, coming in to face Club Atlas, one of the top teams in Mexico. We had a great turnout last year where 31,000 fans came to watch soccer, and we're expecting a big crowd and a lot of fun. And it's great to see, some non-Brewers events here during the time when the Brewers are not here.
All right, and again, tickets available for both Sunday, the Gomez bobblehead day, and you certainly don't want to miss out on the soccer game over the All-Star break. So, BA and Rock, back up to you.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Thanks to Rick. Out there in front of the check deck, the Associated Bank check deck. That's a cool little area out there. We might have to do a game from out there at some point. Denard Span, little flare, going to be a tough play. Segura going back, and he cannot get there. A base hit for Denard Span. His last 3 at-bats have produced hits. 2 for 2 tonight.
Yeah, smoke one to right over Ryan Braun's head his first time up, and a little jam shot out of the reach of Gene Segura. So once again, the Nationals leadoff hitter on base. Boy, he's on a roll right now. They can't get him out. Nobody can.
He said yesterday before the game, they were in New York playing the Yankees. He said, before the game, when I woke up, I thought there would be no chance I could play in this game. He was so sore, back spasms, but he ends up getting to the ballpark, getting himself ready to play. He plays. He comes up with a game-winning hit in the 11th inning, and he's right back in there today. It's amazing what a little success will do. But for a speed player like Span, a guy who uses his legs, relies on his speed, having back spasms has kind of changed the player he is right now.
It's just amazing what they can do in that clubhouse. The athletic trainers, Dan Wright and his guys, do such a good job keeping the Brewers out there. And you're not going to show up to the ballpark feeling great every day. I mean, the best you feel all year, first day of spring training, is downhill from there. But it's certain guys. Span seems to be one of them that realizes how important he is to that lineup, and he finds a way to get out there every day.
At 31 years of age, 2 hits tonight. It's a lead single for Span. Anthony Rendon at the plate. Rendon was one of the more productive players offensively in the National League last year. I mentioned he sprained his knee in spring training, so after he got that healed up and as he was coming back and going through a minor league rehab assignment to get at bats, he pulled an oblique, and that shut him down for significant time. He's just returning to the major leagues. He's been back just a little over a week. This is a huge bat, though, for the Washington Nationals. Burst onto the scene. He was a great college player at Rice down in Houston. He was a first-round draft pick in 2011. He was in the big leagues just 2 years later in 13, and then last year in just his second season in the major leagues at his best career year, a .287 hitter. Led the National League in runs scored last year. And he's going to shoot that one through for a base hit. 2 on, nobody out, and the muscle coming up for the Nationals.
And the issue that you have when the first 2 get on in this Nationals lineup is that you put yourself in a position to have to pitch to Bryce Harper and throw him strikes. Matt Garza was not in that spot the first time Harper came up, and you always have to know where Harper is going to be coming up. That's the kind of player he is right now.
Harper hits cleanup. Here's Yunel Escobar. Escobar's bounced around quite a bit. We last saw him with the Tampa Bay Rays last year. Came up with the Braves. He was traded to Toronto. Always one of the better defensive shortstops in the game. He's had his fair share of run-ins with organizations and managers. Specifically, he and Bobby Cox, the Hall of Fame manager in Atlanta. But he's found a home here in Washington, but not playing much shortstop these days.
He's swinging the bat, though.
He's always been able to do that.
Swinging a bat, not only the batting average, but the on-base percentage near 380. Most of them singles, though, not a big home run hitter.
Well, he's 32 now, from Cuba. First year in the National League since his days with the Braves back in 2010. Down he goes, big hack. Ball in 2 strikes.
Brewers fans used to seeing that, but normally not from the visiting team. That's a big old swing right there. Put him right on his knees. There he is. There's a guy we're used to seeing doing that.
2 on, nobody out. Garza's given up runs in each of the first 2 innings, and the Nationals threaten here in the 3rd. Another one in there, fouled away. The plan for Escobar to start the year was for him to play second base. Ian Desmond is their outstanding shortstop. He's getting a rare day off today. First day off of the year for Desmond. He's had a little bit of a slow season.
He's had a rough time defensively, 12 errors.
Got him. Garza needed that. A strikeout with 2 on and nobody out. Escobar K's and the first out of the 3rd.
He attacked him with the 2-seam fastball, then went with the slider off the plate, and Escobar with a wild swing comes up empty.
Well, 2 on for Bryce Harper. His plate appearance in the first inning, they've had a scoring change on that. Instead of an E6, he was credited with a base hit, an infield hit. But there was an error on the throw, so no RBI. Still an unearned run against Garza. Big swing. That's the Harper swing from last year that he's trying to get away from this year. Stepping in the bucket off balance.
Trying to get to that fastball in, but you know, you could do that early in the count. You take a free hack, try and knock one out of here, then you go back to your normal approach.
He got jammed his last time up. Little soft liner that bounced in front of Segura at the bag at second.
Might have been why he spun off that first one.
Garza comes right back with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball in there for strike 2.
Guys don't like to get jammed, particularly as badly as Harper got jammed his first time up.
Lucroy sets up away, jumps inside, and a breaking ball. Wow, that's a strike.
That's a tough pitch to take. He got away with it.
Got to have those if you're a pitcher, especially against a guy like this.
Yeah. Can't give him extra swings.
I mean, it's one thing to not get calls on the corners, but that was clearly in the zone. Fox Tracks, which uses the same grading system as the umpires have. That'll be a mark for Tim Welke. And Harper skies one, center field, Parra. 2 outs. Good comeback for Garza.
Yeah, gave him 4 strikes and still able to get him. Can't be missing pitches, especially to guys like Harper. That might have been why he didn't call it. It's Bryce Harper. He's got the reputation already, right?
Yes, he does.
Leads the league in walks
at 22 years of age.
Right.
Umpires are human. They miss them every now and then, right?
Yeah. But the good ones admit it. I mean, you never know it, but, you know, Lucroy maybe said, where was that? So I missed it.
Yeah.
You know, what are you going to say after that? Some guys get a little bit obstinate and just don't admit it.
Wilson Ramos 2 on now with 2 away. And he put that one upstairs. Ramos chases. No balls and a strike.
You're okay with an umpire saying that maybe once or twice. You say it too often, it still is going to burn you a little bit.
Right.
So you missed a few of them today, Tim.
Yeah, he's a good umpire.
Yeah, he is.
Respected amongst the major league players. Strike on the corner at 94, his best fastball of the day.
It kind of reminds you of his start against the Twins, right? In trouble, men on base, and able to get himself out of a mess. And he's 1 strike away from that.
Got one more piece to the puzzle here in the 3rd. Span started it with a single, little flare. He's at second. Rendon had a single. No balls, 2 strikes to the Nationals catcher. Got him. Garza gets out of it. 2 on, nobody out. Garza facing Escobar, Harper, and Ramos retires him in order. And a couple of Ks in that mix. Great effort by Matt Garza. Now with 3 strikeouts for the game, his first scoreless inning. Miller Park. Tomorrow, Team USA continues their quest for a 3rd World Cup title. They'll be taking on Sweden. That's at 6 p.m. Central on your local Fox affiliate. And you can catch the whole tournament streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Group D. That's a tough group. It's a group of death, they call it, Rob. If you didn't know that. USA beat Australia. And to earn those 3 points, they're trying to secure the next round with a win tomorrow. You can check it out on Fox. A lot of fun. Here's Matt Garza starting it for the Brew Crew. 9-1-2 coming up. Garza, Lucroy, and Parra. Tanner Roark giving up a run in the first. Ryan Braun had an RBI triple. And then he retired the side in order in the 2nd inning. 28-year-old right-hander out of the University of Illinois, Tanner Roark.
The guy that throws all 4. He's a 4-pitch mixer, as Rick Kranitz likes to talk about. As we mentioned, he likes to use that 2-seam fastball, but once in a while he'll reach back and give you mid-90s. Here's a good slider.
2nd strikeout for Roark. First out of the 3rd inning, back to the top of the order now.
Hey, you're going to want to be at Miller Park this Saturday as the Brewers take on the Nationals, and stick around after the game as OAR takes the stage to perform their biggest hits in a free post-game concert presented by Pick and Save. For tickets, go to Brewers.com.
One gone. Lucroy back up, his second trip to the plate. Hitting in the leadoff spot here tonight. Lucroy always fashioned his game after Jason Kendall. He's a smaller catcher. He's able to do a lot of the things that Kendall was able to do behind the plate. Very mobile, quick feet.
And he could run back in those days. In his early days, he could steal bases.
Now Lucroy doesn't have the foot speed of a Jason Kendall, but they're similar players in that regard. They can get very small behind the plate defensively. Lucroy in that leadoff spot. Kendall led off 119 occasions in one season. Lucroy the first to lead off since 2009 for a catcher.
Luke's got all the attributes of a leadoff hitter except for the wheels. Patient at the plate, will hit with 2 strikes, doesn't strike out a whole lot. Normally with a good on-base percentage, off to a slow start this year.
Counsell called it a temporary move. Once Gomez is healthy and ready to go, he'll be back in the leadoff spot. But it does give him a right-handed option to help separate his right-handed and left-handed hitters. Counsell has 4 lefties in the lineup, and none of the lefties are hitting back-to-back in the order. Counsell, a left-handed hitter in his time, of course. Braun anxiously awaiting a turn at the plate. Lucroy would love to give him a chance to bat in this inning. Somebody's going to have to reach to get Braun up. Nats lead it 2-1. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. And Lucroy muscles one, going to be caught by Espinoza. 2 outs.
And a 2-seam fastball has been effective, not just from Matt Garza. Coming inside, but for Roark as well. Been able to get in on his hands. Jam Lucroy that time. See more and more of that these days. I mean, pitching inside, it used to be away with everything. I think it has a little bit to do with the strike zone. Now, guys that had the reputation of pitching on the outside part of the plate, away, like Maddox and Glavine, they would get a little bit off the corners. You don't get it anymore. I think that's because that's one of the reasons why I think guys are starting to think about inside a little bit more.
There's a fine line pitching inside. Back-to-back changeups by Roark, and he has fallen behind Parra 2-0. It's one thing if you can get one on the inside corner, you can be very effective, but if it leaks over the plate just a little bit, big league hitters do big damage on the inner third of the plate if you're a lefty. And for Roark, to his glove side with Parra at the plate.
Sometimes he'll throw it a little bit too hard. He won't get the sink. He won't get the move, and that's when it flattens out.
Oh, almost hit him. Back in there with a fastball. I think Parra says it did hit him. A reviewable play, and nothing there that would send Craig Counsell to a challenge. 3 balls and a strike to Parra. That ball's hit high in the air, slightly off the end of the bat, and Harper is there, and that'll leave Braun standing in the on-deck circle. Another 3-up, 3-down inning for Tanner Roark. He's retired 8 straight. Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. By Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. And by Hupy and Abraham. 800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. 2-1 Nats over the Brew Crew. We head to the fourth from Miller Park. Matt Garza back to work. He'll face Danny Espinoza, the switch hitter, to lead off. Clint Robinson, who homered off Garza in the second, will follow, and then Michael A. Taylor. First ball swinging Espinoza. Pretty light schedule in the big leagues tonight. Just 9 games on the slate. There are 3 finals already. Oakland shutting out Texas tonight. Scott Kazmir with a 1-hitter in that game. Espinoza swings and fouls it away. Kazmir went 8 innings of just 1-hit ball. He struck out 6. Rangers have been surging a little bit. Prince Fielder leading the charge. He's having a great year for the Texas Rangers. You can find his name amongst the league leaders in the American League in a number of different categories.
Yeah, Houston Astros have lost 7 straight.
And the Rangers start play today. Garza's former club, just 2 back.
Trying to get a little bit bunched up there in the West, right? Houston, Texas, LA, the Angels. Prince Fielder hitting almost 350.
Leading the American League in batting. Leads the league in hits as well. And he's up there in RBIs in the top 3. Little cue shot foul. Count remains at 0-2. There was another shutout today. The Indians beat the Mariners 6-0. And covering 7 innings of that shutout was former Brewer Sean Markham.
Yeah.
Allowed just 2 hits. Keeps reinventing himself, does Markham. Doesn't have the great stuff, but he knows what he's doing with everything else.
Everything moves, takes a little off. Had a good year for the Brewers one year.
Little half swing. They'll ask if he went. He did. That's a strike and a strikeout for Matt Garza.
Yeah, 4 punch-outs now for Garza. Has not walked a batter. Those are the strikeouts coming on the breaking ball. That one looked like a curveball. Got Ramos to end the 3rd on the slider.
Clint Robinson coming off his first career major league homer in the 2nd inning. Up into the Loge level bleachers in right field. It was a no-doubter. Robinson with 1 out in the 2nd. Got one he could handle, and he didn't miss it. Brief stay in the big leagues, a couple of different seasons with the Royals and the Dodgers.
Literally came off his feet to hit that one out. He spun right off of that pitch and hit a high towering homer.
It was a little kid, little Brewers fan, who caught the ball up there. And we saw a little bit of the negotiations up there trying to get the ball back for Robinson. Sophia, our crack reporter, has more information. Sophia, hello.
Hi, BA. Yeah, so I went and talked to Aiden, the kid who caught the ball, along with his dad, Todd, and his brother, Ian, along there with him. And the negotiations are still ongoing, but they're hoping to get a few Brewers hats out of it. So they did give the ball back, very kind of them, and they're waiting to hopefully get some hats in return.
I think you should bring him to the booth, Sophia. That's the least we could do for him.
Get them some snacks.
Yeah, a little snack, a little booth visit.
Got some good cookies up here.
Pictures with rocks.
Some fresh fish.
That'll do it. Pictures with us up here.
There's a 3-1. That's in there for a strike. 3-2. .30-year-old Clint Robinson starting at first base tonight. Ryan Zimmerman on the DL, and Robinson figures to get a good share of the playing time. Tyler Moore is another guy that the Nats will use at first. Zimmerman an everyday guy, so first base has not been something Matt Williams has had to worry about too much. Full count. Broken bat, and that's going to sneak through a base hit. Jeanette had him covered in the hole, and Robinson's able to sneak one through for a knock, albeit a broken bat hit. He's 2 for 2 today.
Garza with a fastball, busted him in, and you can see the shrapnel from the bat coming off and into right field. And he's 2 for 2.
Well, that home run he hit in the second, maybe his first major league homer, but this guy put up some huge power numbers in the minor leagues. Had a 100 RBI season once. Drove in over 80 last year. So he's familiar with this role. Michael A. Taylor batting for the Nats, and he swings at the first pitch. He's got a base hit. More traffic behind Garza here in the fourth. 2 on with 1 out. The pitcher Roark is coming up.
He's still waiting for his first clean inning. Is Matt Garza. He's only allowed 2 runs. Started Taylor off with a curveball, left it up, and he bangs it into left field. Already 62 pitches for Garza in the 4th inning.
Garza facing his mound opponent. Roark likely up there to bunt. He does have 3 hits this year. Handles the bat pretty well. He was a position player in college. Squaring early. And he gets a bunt down foul for strike 1. It's always a little more interesting with Garza on the mound in spots like this. Garza is not comfortable throwing the baseball to bases. Now, if it's a bang play, he's usually all right. It doesn't really come into play. It's those plays where he has a lot of time to think about it.
Yeah, right.
And then throw to first. That's when things can get a little squirrely for him.
He's a little bit tentative and aims it. Throws it away once in a while.
It does affect the Brewers' bunt coverage. They've got both corner infielders crashing in. Roark, the old butcher boy, and a swing and a miss. 0-2. That's the counter when you have the first baseman and the third baseman about 50 feet from you.
Doesn't work all that often with a pitcher up there. Although he's got 3 hits already this year.
Three for 10 at the plate. And he bunts out one foul, so a strikeout for Garza. Roark unable to get the bunt down. That'll be K number 5 for Garza, and the second out of the inning.
And the Blarney Stone Pub in Portage is tonight's Saturday game winner. They call the Brewers in the next 24 hours. They get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game. It's offered courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
The director's chair for the 22-year-old Harper. I think he just likes to stay as close to the bat rack as possible, just to let his bats know he's nearby.
Keeping the weapons warm, protecting them.
Denard Span with 2 outs. He's got 2 hits tonight. He ripped a double in the right center in the first inning and had a little flare single to left his last time up. Span and Garza missed each other in Minnesota. Span's rookie season was 2008. And that one's on the ground, and Segura can't make the play. They're going to send Robinson. Here's the throw to the plate, and it is high over the head of Lucroy, and all the runners will advance. 3-1 Washington.
You don't see Gerardo Parra make a throw like that very often. He just airmailed everybody off the screen. And both runners able to advance. So the Brewers with their second error in this game. Got to do the best you can to keep that ball in the infield with a man at second and 2 outs. So fundamentally the Brewers are making mistakes tonight, something that they didn't do a whole lot of on the road trip.
Just trying to do too much.
And if you can't get the out, you got to smother. You got to keep it in the infield, get dirty. And Gerardo Parra making a bad throw into home plate.
Segura and Parra with errors tonight. That'll go as a hit, an RBI, and then an E8 that allows both base runners to advance. As Rendon takes a strike.
So 2 of the 3 runs today crossing home plate because the player's not able to smother baseballs. It was Adam Lind on that bad throw by Segura. He tried to keep his foot on the bag. Ball ended up in the seats. Run scored. And Gene Segura not able to keep that one in the infield.
On the ground to third, tough hop. Ramirez plays it, and a low throw, and that skips by and into the seats. And 2 more runs are going to score. And the Boo Birds are coming out here at Miller Park.
Rick Brown is going to come out and try and calm down his pitcher. Should have been out of the inning a while ago, and in between hop, a terrible throw by Ramirez, and once again Adam Lind not able to keep it in front of him. Another run scores. That one ends up in the seats.
So Taylor and Span score 5-1 Washington. And that'll bring up Yunel Escobar now. Rendon ends up at second base. 2 errors in the inning, 3 overall. Washington is too good of a club to give him outs and runs. He swings at the first one. Segura winds it up, and that's the inning. And a mock cheer by the crowd here. They're frustrated. I don't blame them. 5-1 Nationals. We go to the bottom of the 4th. For the 4th, Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Roof is closed on a cool rainy night. Ryan Braun will lead off. Ugly game so far for the Brewers, but earlier tonight our delivery of the game courtesy of Jimmy John's, a thing of beauty. Ryan Braun hits it into left center, his first triple of the year. And the Brewers were able to get on the board quickly.
Yeah, back-to-back hits, and that was the last base runner for the Brewers, that triple by Braun.
That was on a 1-2 pitch. A triple. Tanner Roark staked to a 4-run lead. A 15-game winner last year. He was such a big piece to their division title a season ago. Hot shot back up the middle, a base hit. And Braun is 2 for 2. Good way to start the inning.
Yeah, left a slider down the middle of the plate, and Ryan Braun didn't try and pull it, so both of his hits coming to center field. So Brauny's staying on the baseball well.
And that'll bring up Adam Lind. Well, you get a quick strike here. There's a lot of baseball to be played. Brewers got shut out yesterday. Yesterday in Pittsburgh, the Crew with just 3 hits.
Charlie Morton was awesome. Charlie Morton with that sinker. Yeah, the curveball, the changeup. Sometimes you just have to tip your hat when a pitcher's throwing like that. One thing the Brewers were able to do on the road trip. 5-4, pretty good road trip for them. Pitched well. They played very solid defense. That has not been the case tonight. It's been bad defense.
3 errors tonight as Lynn sends one deep left center field, and it's back, and it's off the top of the wall. Braun into third, Lind into second with a double. Man, he just missed a homer by a foot or 2. But the Brewers get it cooking here in the 4th. 2 on, second and third, nobody out.
Yeah, left that one up in the strike zone. I mean, 2 seamers supposed to be down and away. Missed a home run by a couple of feet. And down by 4 runs. Ed Cedar not taking any chances trying to score Braun.
Double number 14 to go along with 9 homers. Now an opportunity here for the Brewers. Have to cash in on this one. Ramirez, who committed an error in the top of the 4th, would love for a little redemption here. Take it back to Tuesday. Ramirez popped his 7th home run of the season on the Powerball home run count. It was on the first pitch.
Be good to see one of those right now. Get the Crew right back into this game.
Brewers won that game 4-1, winning the series from the Pirates. Back-to-back series wins for Milwaukee leading up to this one. Took 2 out of 3 from the Twins, and then 2 of 3 from Pittsburgh. Second and third, nobody out. Here's a 1-1 inside. Hadn't seen the velocity that Roark typically can show. He's a guy that every now and then will hit 94, but as a starter, he's hovering in the low 90s.
He relies more on the movement.
On the ground to short, this will get a run in. Espinosa makes the play. Adam Lind is going to go to third.
Good base running there. I think Lind thought he was going to get caught off between second and third there. Espinosa elects to go to first base, gets the shore out, but Adam Lind took off right away. Check this out. Watch Lind. I mean, he is actually nobody at second base. That's why they didn't make a throw.
Well, if you're Rendon, you got to go cover, don't you?
No kidding. Where is he going?
So Lind ends up at third base with just 1 out. A run is in on a ground out by Ramirez. And here's Shane Peterson.
But good heads up base running by Adam Lind to get the third.
The Brewers will challenge left field and center field, not right field. Harper has an extraordinary throwing arm in right, but he does play very deep. Lind below average speed. On the ground, gloved. Lynn coming home, and no throw. He bobbled it for a moment, did Robinson. So another run comes in on a ground out. Peterson credited with his first RBI as a Brewer.
Some good base running by Adam Lynn there. I mean, he goes right away, right on contact, and because Robinson was down, smothering the baseball, he's able to score. So Adam Lynn with aggressive base running, getting to third base, and able to score on the ground out.
Like Robinson was thinking about making a throw home, and Segura sends one foul. If he comes up with it cleanly, I think he was in a posture to try to make a play at the plate. But once he bobbled, made that decision easy. Brewers start the inning with 2 hits. They get 2 runs on groundouts, and it's 5-3. Segura spins out. Count evens at 1-1. Ball and 2 strikes on Segura. Will pop up. Long run for everyone, and that falls. And Segura retreats back to first base. The Bermuda Triangle out there in right field. We talked about how deep Harper plays in right, so he really wasn't a factor in this play. And Rendon.
Yeah, most right fielders are going to be able to get to that baseball, but you're right. I mean, he's playing almost to the warning track. I'm not sure why Segura is in that second base. Still with great speed. Saw that ball fall and had to retreat back to first base.
Here's Jeanette with Segura at first. 2 away in the inning. Segura has a green light to try to steal. And, he missed the bag.
Yeah, he never touched first base. That's why he did not get to second. I knew there was a reason. And you know, somebody would have seen that. He was watching the baseball, forgot to touch first.
Jeanette pops it up, slicing. That'll be in the seats.
Because Jeet Segura normally always runs out everything. Always aggressive. He never really trots down the bases, and had he not missed the bag, he would have been at second base.
The moment of decision came just as he was needing to look down and find the base. Well, we'll see if Jeanette can get him on the move. He'll flash a little power every now and then. The Nationals know that. Hit a grand slam against Steven Strasburg here last season. No balls and a strike. A check on Segura. Segura is 7 for 8 in stolen base attempts this season. He and Gomez about the only 2 with the green light to try to run. Occasionally Ryan Braun will steal as well. Brewers are not running nearly as much in the Craig Counsell era.
Trying to leave all the outs at home plate, get as many swings at it as you can, and you don't want to be making outs on the bases, particularly when you're down by a couple of runs. Risk reward. If you make it about 75% of the time, it's worth it.
0-2 on Jeanette. The Brewers have 2 in here in the 4th inning. They're down a pair. Jeanette trying to keep it going. One of the better fastballs of the day for Roark at 92 miles an hour. Pitched in the postseason last year. He pitched out of the bullpen in their division series against the Giants. Had a couple of outings. There goes Segura, swinging a little tapper in front of the mound. Roark, good athlete, will make the play to end the inning. But the Brewers scratch a couple across. It's now 5-3. We're headed to the 5th at Miller Park. The Nationals have the lead. Brewers are not playing well defensively tonight. They've committed 3 errors, 2 of them last inning, leading to 3 runs. Segura, Parra, and Ramirez with errors tonight. They got a lot of game left. See if they can clean it up. Garza can keep the Nats right where they're at. Brewers look like they've got a pretty good approach tonight against Roark. They have 5 hits through the first 4 innings. Put 3 on the board. Harper's 1 out of 2. His infield hit in the first inning was originally scored as an error. It's just a little floater, a little jam shot just in front of the bag at second. Segura tried to barehand it, had a lot of spin on it. Certainly out of the realm of ordinary for a shortstop to make. It was the right call, but it was a tough play.
Well, we've seen Segura make tougher throws than that before. I'll tell you, he should have made the play. 2 of the 5 runs are earned for the Nationals so far tonight.
Garza gets ahead. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Harper's just 2 home runs away from his career best. He hit 22 homers his rookie year. Goes up the ladder for that one. Deep fly ball on the run. Peterson will watch it slice into the seats. That year Harper hit 22. That was his rookie of the year campaign. He was 19 years of age.
And they say he's matured. And he's 20.
Haven't we all?
I wasn't very mature at 20. Some would say I'm still not, but 20 years old.
Yeah, 20. He'll be 23 in October.
Something else. Incredible talent.
He's already walked more this year than he did all of last year. Here's a 2-2, and Harper turns on that one right into the shift. Scooter Gennett makes a play for out number 1. He was up there hacking in that at bat. Garza got ahead early and finished him off. 1 away in the 5th. That'll bring up Wilson Ramos. Garza with back-to-back wins. Went 7 innings against the Twins his last time out, and then the outing prior to that was the last time he was on this mound. Pitched 5 scoreless in that 17-inning win over the Diamondbacks. A bit of a turnaround outing for Garza. It was supposed to start the next day, Monday in St. Louis, and he made himself available. Craig Counsell hoped he could give him a couple of innings if it continued on. It ended up going 17, and Garza went 5. He was great in that game.
Yep, and that started the revolving door of the young starting pitchers for the Brewers on that road trip.
Yeah, the Brewers used 3 different starters. Ramos beats one into the ground. Segura for out number 2.
Well, I think they finally caught up now. They finally outran that 17-inning game. Hey, tomorrow night is the Brewers' first Free Shirt Friday of the summer. The Brew Crew takes on these Nationals at 7 o'clock, and all fans in attendance get a retro Brewers t-shirt courtesy of Hupy and Abraham. Call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com for tickets.
Oh, I was going to make you appear. It's a nice shirt. I like
nice.
this. The powder blue.
Does it fit you?
This is my size.
Small?
Not a small.
Large?
You're commenting on my broad shoulders
You do have
yesterday.
broad shoulders. You do. You kept bumping into me. You are proud of those shoulders, aren't you?
No, I'm an unfinished product. Rock.
I can see where you get that length off the tee.
Close to the ball as well. It helps. Vertically challenged.
But broad shoulders, right?
But horizontally okay.
Yeah.
And
just right.
Especially down around the belt. Starting to get a little more horizontally challenged by the day.
Yeah, well, I feel your pain.
Here's the 0-2 to Espinoza. Just missed. Garza hit his spot but didn't get the call. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's looking for a 3-up, 3-down inning. Has not had one tonight. See what he has in mind here. Fastball got him. Put it right by him at 94. Matt Garza, 3-up, 3-down. Brewers down a pair. We head to the home 5th.
The 5th, and you can join Brewers pitcher Matt Garza and his teammates for the Brewers Bowl-a-thon on Sunday, July 19th. You can enjoy a VIP reception, silent auction, and bowling with the Brewers players while raising money for the Sojourner Family Peace Center, a safe haven for abused women and children. For more information, you can visit brewers.com/beyondthediamond or call 414-902-4532. And back at Miller Park after the road trip, first time we've seen Chris Davis since he had the surgery on his torn right meniscus. And Katie said he feels really good, that the surgery was really a best-case scenario, minimal cleanup. You see him, he was able to get out on the field, play catch today for the first time. So he says he's got a little bit of swelling in the knee, but has the stitches out. It's his first surgery, so good for him to play catch, and he'll start running probably next week or so.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Yeah, the rehab starts immediately after you get off the surgeon's table. Look at Garza, a little flare. It's going to fall right off the end of the bat. Garza with his second hit of the season. And it's a leadoff single here in the fifth.
Yeah, second time through the batting order. Much better for Milwaukee. You see Garza, that pitch away, just kind of flips the bat out there. And able to dump it down the line and right. So it's a good start to the fifth.
Yeah, and his rotation mates excited about that. Jimmy Nelson and Mike Fiers. Brewers go 4 for 9. Second time through the batting order against Roark. Now with 6 hits for the game. Roark has not walked a batter. Brewers got a run off of him in the first. Braun with an RBI triple. Scored twice in the fourth. RBI groundouts from Ramirez and Peterson. And Lucroy, big chopper to short. Espinoza got an out at second and no throw. Garza with a good slide to disrupt the play. Lucroy will reach on a fielder's choice, and it's just as well to get Garza off the base paths. To bring up Parra. Gerardo had a single and a run scored in the first. He scored from first on Braun's triple. He just missed one on the bat in the third inning. Hit a fly ball to deep right.
And it sounded like he got it down on the end a little bit. Bryce Harper continues to play very deep out there in right field. You know, I've seen just about every game in this ballpark. I don't remember a right fielder playing that deep consistently throughout the game. He's just a little bit in right now, but he's been way back there all night.
Wave and a miss. Slow curve by Roark. It's a good pitch for him. Not only does it have the spinning action down, but it also acts as a change of pace. It comes in at 77 miles an hour.
And it takes a lot off of it. Tough to get that kind of break at that speed.
And he can throw it in the low 70s. Here's the 0-2. Went back to it. That one at 75. Remember Zach Greinke? He was the master of the change of pace curve. I remember he and Randy Wolf, when they were pitching together on the same staff here with the Brewers, they had a little internal competition about who could throw the slowest curveball in an actual game. I think Greinke won that battle. He threw one 68 miles an hour once. Just kind of flipped it up there.
Yeah. Still had some spin on it.
As a hitter, they say, you know, talking to some of these guys, they say, well, your first instinct, you see a pitch up there, you think, well, that's going to be a ball, and then it's not coming in fast enough. So you give up on it. Everything is off balance, and then it spins right into the strike zone.
Then you end up overswinging, pulling off on it, and missing it. Now, Jack Morris used to do that with a straight pitch, like a lob pitch, not the lob. Dave LaRoche back in the old days, but
yeah.
He'd do that once in a while.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Parra looking for a mistake. And he turns on one. He found it. Is it going to stay fair? It is up and foul. And he just missed it. Hit it a ton. Roark thought he'd try to sneak a fastball by him, and Parra was ready.
It just does hook fouls. Gets down to the pole. Got good wood on that one.
Count remains at 1-2. Now we'll see what he has in mind here. He's got Lucroy at first. And right off the end of the bat, Roark pounces on it. Throw to first in time. Good play by the Nationals pitcher. This guy was a football star in high school, and he shows very good athleticism on the mound. Fields his position well.
And falls off toward first a little bit, but able to make the adjustment. Two hands in and makes a good throw to first.
Lucroy does advance. 2 men are out, though, for Ryan Braun. Ryan is 2 for 2. He drove in his 41st run of the season in the first inning. Those 41 RBIs have him among league leaders in the National League. He was 0 for 2 yesterday. He took himself out of the lineup with dizziness. Has come back today, no problems. So they gave him some medicine. I don't know what it was, some drops or something. He had fluid on his ear, but it cleared him up quickly.
Gotta have him in the lineup. Much different look to that lineup when Braun's in there. Triple on a fastball, a single on a slider.
He's the best the Brewers have with runners in scoring position, especially 2 out runners in scoring position. .389 hitter.
And you wonder if they're even going to throw him strikes here. Although Adam Lind on deck nearly hit one out of here to left field his last time up.
Two of those 7 hits for Braun in this spot, homers. And Roark trying to get him to chase, which he is not doing. 3-0. Braun's 41 RBI is good enough for 5th in the league. Giancarlo Stanton is the league leader with 51. That one's in there.
That's not Braun's game right there. 3-1. He doesn't do it very often, but when he does swing 3-0, normally gets a base hit. Count on one hand the times he swung 3-0 in his entire career.
Three balls, 1 strike. Lucroy at second, and Braun takes ball 4. So the Brewers put the tying run on. Braun aboard for the 3rd time tonight. First and second with Adam Lind coming up. Lind missed a home run his last time up by a foot or 2, maybe. Drove one off the left center field wall. Lind had never faced Roark prior to tonight. Not many of the Brewers had seen him. He did start against Milwaukee last year. He pitched a gem against the Brewers last season, but he's just planting seeds in the big leagues. His 3rd year. And Lind swings and rips one into right center. Coming in Lucroy. Braun on his way to 3rd. Lind with an RBI single.
Yeah, he didn't wait, did he? Curveball up in the zone, and Lind hits it hard. He hit that one hard on the ground, almost split the gap out there in right center. That Brewers pecking away. There's that first pitch curveball up right down the middle, and Lind able to hit it hard into right center. Bryce Harper playing so deep, all he has to do is go across, and Ryan Braun has to hold up at 3rd base.
Lucroy in from second. The Brewers within a run now. Visit to the mound by the Nats pitching coach Steve McCatty. There's Braun, the tying run. And here comes Aramis Ramirez now. 2 outs in the inning. 2-out RBI hit for Adam Lind, who continues to flourish in that spot. A .478 hitter with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. That's his 11th hit. Ramirez takes strike one. Well placed fastball. Ramirez pops it up, slicing. Harper gives it a look. Going to be close, and it's out of play. That's a break for Ramirez. It gets very tight to the lines in that area. Kid's fired up. Look, oh, I got a ball. He's got a Zach Greinke t-shirt on. Yeah, buddy. That's an old Usher trick.
Yeah, son, they're going to have to take that ball back. He used to be an Usher.
Yeah, I was thinking about going pro actually at one point, and decided to change courses. Here's the 0-2, and Ramirez swings. Can't check it. Down he goes. So the inning is over. The Brewers strand 2, but Lind makes it a 1-run game. Trivia question: since '98, how many different ballparks have the Milwaukee and Washington franchises played their annual series in? How many different ballparks since 1998? All right. Got to remember, Washington coming from Montreal. I think there's a good chance for baseball to return to Montreal. It's starting to feel that way.
There's some talk, isn't there?
Matt Garza ready to go here. We start the 6th inning. Clint Robinson leads off. First ball swinging, slices one foul. Robinson in his first major league homer in the 2nd. At age 30, his first career homer. He swings and hits one on a hop. Tough play. Jeanette stayed in front of it. And Robinson is retired for the first out. Garza has retired 5 in a row now. Good play by Jeanette. Here's Michael Taylor. He hit a big homer yesterday against the Yankees. Nats were down 4-2 in that game.
and hit an 8th inning 2-run homer to tie it. And it was a right field homer. It didn't get this one, but it was about on that same line. Down he goes. Garza with 2 quick ones here in the 6th inning.
And it looks like the pitcher Roark is going to get another at bat. Hey, this Sunday is another all-fan Sunday at Miller Park as the Brewers close out their series against these Nationals. All fans get a Carlos Gomez All-Star bobblehead courtesy of Pepsi. Visit Brewers.com to reserve your spot at Miller Park today.
That's a great matchup Sunday. Max Scherzer against Taylor Youngman. He'll be making his 2nd major league start, earning that start after picking up a win in his major league debut in Pittsburgh. Garza trying to make it a quick one here. He's got the pitcher at the plate. No balls, 2 strikes. Tanner Roark. Not Rourke. Did he go? He did not. Mike Everett saying he checked his swing. You be the judge. Well, I'll tell you this, if Roark's pitching, he wants that to be a swing. I guarantee it. That's a swing. Down he goes. 1-2-3 inning for Matt Garza. 5-4 Nats. Brewers coming up. Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. And by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. First game of the homestand, 1st of 4 against the Washington Nationals. We welcome you back from Miller Park. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th. Shane Peterson in his first game at Miller Park. 0 for 2 tonight, but he does have an RBI and an RBI ground out last time up. First ball swinging, and Span, who froze for a moment, creeps in to make the play. Peterson is a first ball swinger.
And just a little bit on the end. It looked like Roark took a little off at 88 miles an hour, and you can see Peterson just missed it. Just took enough off of it, did Roark, to have him down on the end.
1 pitch, 1 out. Roark's given up 7 hits. Brewers have 4 runs. There's Gene Segura with 1 away. Garza's pitched much better than the scoreboard looks right now. Garza has retired 7 consecutive batters. He did give up 3 runs in the 4th inning, but Garza, of the 5 runs allowed, only 2 are earned. Got Michael Blazek loosening in the bullpen just in case Garza's spot comes up.
Yeah, one base runner. Pitcher spot's going to come up.
Hitters count for Segura. Chopped it foul. Couldn't get the bat out fast enough. 3-2 the count. That's the thing about Roark. He doesn't overpower you with the fastball, but he spots it well. He's got variation of off-speed stuff.
And he'll change speeds, different speeds on the same pitch.
Segura lines one to the right center, a base hit. And a wide turnaround first. Good play out there by Harper to keep him to a single. A good piece of hitting there by Segura on a 3-2 pitch.
And doing what he has been doing all year is driving it into right field, just out of the reach of Rendon. That is just a nice piece of hitting. Does he touch first? Yep.
Just how you're supposed to. If he weren't with us back in the 4th inning, he had a little flare single and probably would have been able to make it to second, but he missed first base. So he's at first for Scooter Gennett. Brewers down a run. A swing away from taking the lead here. Gennett looking for his first hit. 0 for 2 in his return to the big leagues. Into center field, going back on expand. At the track, he's got it for the out. Wrong part of the ballpark for Scooter Gennett. His second out of the inning. It's a long, loud out. Segura retreats to first. And now Craig Counsell is going to make a move and send Hector Gomez out to hit for Garza, who is done after 6 innings.
Yeah, deserves a much better fate tonight. I mean, 2 earned runs in 6 innings. Defense let him down tonight.
3 errors behind Garza. Still has a chance to win this game if the Brewers can take the lead and hang on. They can take the lead in this inning and hang on. Hector Gomez. Hector as a pinch hitter is 1 for 11. His first and only home run in the major leagues came against Clayton Kershaw. In the air, left center field. And not deep enough. Taylor will make the catch to end the inning. Just missed it. 5-4 Nats. 6 in the books at Miller Park. Brewers baseball tonight on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. School's almost out for just about everybody. I think tomorrow's the last day for most students, if they're not out already. All right, Rockets, Michael Blazek. And what a story he's been this year for the Brewers. Now trying to hold the Nats to 5.
Yeah, scoreless innings in 20 of 24 appearances this year, including his last 7. Only got 1 out in Pittsburgh, and yesterday he came in for a batter, got him out, stranded an inherited runner in the 7th inning at PNC Park. Terrific numbers, a 115 earned run average and an opponent batting average at only 145. Blazek's been very, very good this year.
Brewers went through a 9-game road trip, and the bullpen only allowed 2 earned runs in the 9 games. Those were the numbers. .44 ERA since May 30th. That includes that game, that 17-inning game. Will Smith is back active tonight. There he is, the big left-hander, after a 6-game suspension. He's been throwing a few side sessions.
He did pretty well in that 6-game stretch. 4-2, not too bad.
Top of the order for the Nats, Bernard Span, who has 3 hits. Right off the end of the bat, Ramirez scoops it, and 1 away. First time Span has been retired tonight.
Next batter is second baseman Anthony Rendon.
Span 3 out of 4 with an RBI. Anthony Rendon, who is 1 for 3. If you're just picking us up, the Brewers committing 3 errors tonight. They've led to 3 unearned runs against Garza. A 3-run 4th inning gave the Nats a 5-1 lead, but the Brewers got 2 in the bottom of that inning, the 4th, and then they added 1 in the 5th. So down a run, each club with 8 hits. Nationals without Ryan Zimmerman tonight, and for the rest of this series he's on the DL for 15 days. Foot injury, plantar fasciitis, and they say it needs about 2 weeks and he'll be fine. No problems.
Never had that?
Never have.
Not good. Doesn't feel good.
There's a strike, 2-2 the count. It's kind of in the arch of the foot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like underneath.
Yeah. Makes it very difficult to walk, let alone try to play sports.
So they shut Ryan Zimmerman down. Ooh, that one just missed. Man, right on the inside corner, but didn't get the call.
Here's strike zone tonight. A couple of times Tim Wilkie's not been able to ring up a Washington National hitter.
Blazek misses inside. Ball 4. With a little breaking ball there. Rendon is aboard.
Hey, Summerfest is right around the corner, and on Tuesday, June 23rd, the Brewers take on the Mets, and the first 10,000 fans will get a free Summerfest weekday admission ticket. Visit Brewers.com to reserve your spot today.
Here is Yunel Escobar. The Nats made a transaction today. They acquired David Carpenter, a right-handed pitcher, former Brave, hard thrower. They got him from the Yankees. Got him in a deal for a minor league infielder. Carpenter had been designated for assignment by the Yankees. So the Nats needing a little support in their bullpen. One thing they are missing that they had locked down last year was a setup man. So they traded Tyler Clippard, and they haven't been able to find a whole lot of consistency in their late relief.
Tough guy to replace. I mean, he was outstanding. Fastball changeup for Clippard. Did some closing for the Nationals.
Drew Storen is their closer again this year. He's having a great year. He's got 19 saves.
Good 8th inning, 9th inning guys don't fall out of trees. They're tough to come by.
0-2 to Escobar. Count remains 0-2. In the air, right field, slicing. Braun will watch this one into the seats. And the count stays at 0-2. There were 3 shutouts in the big leagues today. Marlins shut out the Rockies 6-0. A's a 7-0 winner over the Rangers, and the Indians beat the Mariners 6-0. 2 other finals are already in. Baltimore topped Boston 6-5. And the Padres beat the Braves 6-4 in 11 innings. Had some bad blood in that game. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Throw to second and out at second. Strike him out. Throw him out. Double play to end the inning. Lucroy with a gun to second base. They'll lead off here in the bottom of the 7th, and a strike him out, throw him out. Our AT&T U-verse rewind. Blazek gets the K. Lucroy cuts down Rendon, trying to steal a base. That was not an easy throw with Escobar coming across home plate. Beautifully done. Lucroy's been throwing the ball very well this season. Brewers are down a run, and Lucroy pops it up to left. Boy, he just missed it on the bat. 1 pitch and 1 out.
Yeah, there's been a lot of that, hasn't there, for the Brewers? Near misses a couple of times last inning.
That'll bring up Gerardo Parra. Parra just missed a homer. He pulled one foul his last time up. Back in the 5th inning, ended up grounding back to the mound. Brewers down a run. Here's the 1-1. And Parra swings right center field deep. Harper looks up. There she goes. We are tied. Bernie will take a slide. The Brewers have evened it up.
Well, they got Matt Garza off the hook. And just pecking away. They were down 5-1. Been 4 unanswered runs for the Brewers. And Gerardo Parra able to get enough of that one, knock it out of here. Finally, after a number of near misses for the Brew Crew offensively, they knock one out of here.
And Parra has been flirting with a home run on 3 different occasions tonight. Finally squares one up between the lines. Home run number 4 for Gerardo Parra. All tied at 5. Braun has not been retired tonight. On base 3 times. And a triple, a single, and a walk. Braun has 13 homers. He leads the Powerball home run leaderboard. No balls, 2 strikes on Braun. Down he goes.
That fastball caught the outside corner, then he goes up and in, and that's going to be it for Roark. Here comes Matt Williams.
Well, with Adam Lind coming up, who has 2 hits tonight, Williams is going to play matchup here. He's got a left-hander ready in the bullpen, so Roark's night is over. Cannot win this game. All tied at 5. We have a pitching change. The 7th inning. A Gerardo Parra home run has tied it up. Back to our Carshoot.com trivia. Since '98, how many different ballparks have the Milwaukee and Washington franchises played their annual series in? That would be 6. A lot of different venues for Washington, starting with Olympic Stadium, as they were members of the Montreal franchise, and they played in Puerto Rico as well. RFK, where the Nationals played before their beautiful ballpark opened in 2008. Of course, County Stadium in Miller Park here in Milwaukee. New pitcher is Felipe Rivero, in to face Adam Lind with 2 outs, and the base is empty.
Yeah, made his major league debut this year. Came over from the Tampa Bay Rays along with Lobaton, the other catcher for the Washington Nationals. Suffered a blown save in yesterday's game in New York.
Rivera has not been great against left-handers this year. Lefties are hitting .286 against him. Lind, a .222 hitter this season against lefties. He's been in a platoon for the good part of his career with the Toronto Blue Jays. Brewers have tied it Adam Lind, last time up, had a 2-out RBI single to get him within 1. The 2-0 pitch. 3-0.
This is where the way Craig Counsell set the Brewers lineup with right, left, all the way down through the order, making it difficult on Matt Williams to get the matchups that he wants throughout the game as we move on. 7, 8, 9 inning. Blow through your bullpen trying to go through the matchups.
That's have Aaron Barrett ready in the bullpen. 3 balls and a strike, and Lynn slices it foul. He hit it hard, but foul, just a touch late.
93 from the big left-hander Rivero. He's got good stuff. Tall, thin, left-handed pitcher.
Last year with the Blue Jays, Lind only got 33 at-bats all season against left-handed pitching. Only had 2 hits. He's 6 for 27 this year. Swing and a miss. The matchup works. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Lind is out, and the inning is over. However, the Brewers tie it up, down 5-1 after 3.5. Gerardo Parra gets it all square. Home run number 4 for Parra. We head to the 8th, all even. And the first place Washington Nationals. Miller Lite, what's on tap? The Wisconsin native Jordan Zimmerman, who had no hitter late last year. He'll be on the mound tomorrow. Mike Fiers pitches for the Brewers. Airtime is 6:30 for Brewers Live. Craig and Augie will have that for you. And first pitch just after the 7 o'clock hour. It's game 2 of the series Friday night here at Miller Park and on Fox Sports Wisconsin. So Will Smith, suspension over, back on the mound for the first time since, and he will match up against Bryce Harper to start the inning. Wilson Ramos to follow, and then Danny Espinoza.
Outstanding numbers for Smith. He pitched a lot right before his suspension. Last pitched on June 3rd against the Cardinals and tossed a scoreless inning. Coming off that 6-game suspension.
A suspension that was originally at 8 games. He appealed the suspension and got it cut down to 6. He's back, and a big matchup for him in Bryce Harper. This figures to be a pretty common matchup throughout this series, especially in tight games with Smith against Harper. Harper's 1 out of 3, had an infield hit his first time up. 3 balls, no strikes. During the suspension, Smith was throwing simulated games in the bullpen, and it was interesting what the Brewers did to try to give him a little extra during those games. As Harper green lights 3-0, he cuts right through it.
You could see that coming, couldn't you? 3-0.
One thing the Brewers did with Will Smith, they had all of the relievers out there watching his simulated game out in the bullpen, and they were hooting at him and trying to distract him,
right? Yeah,
having some fun with him. And he walks Bryce Harper. Leadoff walk. The league leader in that category takes first. There is the go-ahead run. Wilson Ramos coming up. Now the Brewers, Lee Tunnell, the bullpen coach, wanted to try to force Smith into a little more concentration than you normally would out there by yourself, and you're throwing a little side session. So he had all of his relievers out there.
I can only imagine the stuff that he was hearing. Huh?
It's like a scene out of Caddyshack. Guy trying to make a putt.
Oh boy.
All in good fun.
Wish we could have had a recorder on that session.
Big hitter for Smith. Wilson Ramos is 0 for 3 tonight, and 2 of his outs on the ground. Garza ends up going 6 with 2 earned runs allowed. Defense struggled behind him, but his offense took him off the hook. Liner foul. 0-2. She's got a souvenir. Count remains at 0-2. A Cavs jersey. Playing the Warriors currently in the NBA Finals. Game 4 tonight.
Cavs up 2-1.
Trailing tonight. 0-2 pitch. Ball and 2 strikes. He's going for the rebound. Hit him in the worst spot.
In the hands, right?
I appreciate his loyalty, though.
Pretty good seat.
Even with his Cavs playing tonight. He's here at Miller Park. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and that's in there. A call at strike 3. Smith punches out Ramos. First out of the inning.
Yeah, start with a fastball to Ramos through 1 slider. And Ramos fouled off. That was a fastball that caught the edge right at the knees. Good pitch by Will Smith. Bryce Harper, not much of a stolen base threat. He's 3 for 6. Not the average that you want to see from a base stealer.
Espinoza, switch hitter. Counsell would prefer to have him hit right-handed. Close play over there.
Now you really think about the way the Brewers bullpen was able to weather the storm of Will Smith being out. All they did was put up the best numbers in all baseball. Incredible stuff. 6 games, gave up next to nothing. These guys did a heck of a job.
Counsell even talked about it today. He said, look, no disrespect to Will Smith. We missed him. He's a big part of our bullpen, but we didn't need him. You know, it didn't hurt us that he missed those 6 games, which is a surprise and is a big deal, he said, for his bullpen. Guys stepped up, pitched well, and that gives him a lot of options moving forward as Espinosa pops this one up a mile high. That was a roof scraper.
Just missed it.
And Peterson makes a catch for the out. You're right. That almost hit one of those retaining cables up there.
That ball was up there. Yep. Just got under it. He got the bat head out, but Will Smith able to get him underneath that fastball.
Two outs now after the walk to Harper. Smith will face Clint Robinson. 2 for 3 tonight, including a home run. Swing and a miss. Tough matchup. Good breaking ball there by Smith.
The Nationals have 3 right-handers and a switch hitter on their bench. They've got 5 guys on the bench, including Ian Desmond and Dan Uggla.
Hey, Smith's got it picked off. Harper trying to steal. Lynn's throw, and Harper is out. Smith snuffed it out. Harper trying to swipe one. That'll go as a caught stealing. And the Brewers get out of the inning. Harper on a 1-3-6. He's gone.
After being reinstated after serving a 6-game suspension, getting through that 8th inning. 5-5 we go. We're getting ready for Brewers Live and see if the Brewers can get a win here tonight. Right now, Gerardo Parra, the hero, as he ties the game last at bat.
Yeah, he's done so much for his ball club. You look at what he's done, not only defensively with the diving catch tonight, but had a hit and scored a run the first inning, comes back up in the 7th inning, hits the big home run to tie the ball game.
All right, let's see what the Brew crew can do here in the 8th. Again, we'll hear from Craig Counsell and the crew. Brewers Live after the ball game.
Well, you got Aaron Barrett in the ball game right now. Barrett, a fastball, slider, changeup guy. It's going to be Ramirez, Peterson, and Segura here in the bottom of the 8th. And Ramirez not able to hold up. So Barrett with an 0-2 count on Ramirez.
Yeah, Ramos has had some opportunities tonight with men on base. He did drive in a run with a ground out in the 4th inning.
Yeah, Barrett pitched once again. He pitched yesterday, a third of an inning, gave up a couple of hits and a run. Bullpen, you can get to him until you get to right at the end of the ball game. Drew Storen pretty much automatic. Brewers have actually out hit the Nationals 9-8.
Aaron Barrett delivers high, ball one. Be interesting to see what happens here. Now, if the Brewers score a run, or if they score at all, then obviously that's going to turn into a Frankie Rodriguez situation, barring a big inning. But if it remains tied, Will Smith's on the mound, and he had that caught stealing as he picked off Bryce Harper. That means Clint Robinson is still at the plate to start the inning. I'm not sure if Matt Williams would bring on a pinch hitter at that time, but Counsell might send Smith back out just to see. It'll be interesting.
Well, he doesn't look like he's in going back out there mode. He's up there leaning on the front railing, and normally if you're going to be going back out there, he's going to be sitting by himself. But K-Rod getting loose. A lot of times in a tie game, you're going to bring your closer in. He might, but he looks like he's done. K-Rod heating up out there in the pen.
I guess you can't assume for 17 innings every game at Miller Park. You play it by the book. Right.
Yeah.
3 balls, 2 strikes, and Ramirez swings and misses. Ball gets away. Ramirez, and he will reach.
There you go. There's a break. And now you get a pinch runner in there for Ramirez.
Oh, a strikeout and a man on. Ramirez going as hard as he can to first base. It just doesn't go as fast anymore. Never was a real burner to start with, but looked like the Twilight Zone hallway right there. Just could never get there. But
well, he got off to a slow start. He wasn't sure if that ball was by him, but able to beat it by half a step. They're going to keep Ramirez at first base. Maybe wait until he gets to second base in a tie game. If you're down by a run, you pinch run for him.
Shane Peterson.
Yeah, that and the fact that the Brewers bench a bit short. They've already used Hector. Gomez might not be available, so it's Maldonado and Perez.
Well, they're going to need a pinch hitter soon. Jason Rogers starting to get loose in that dugout. No balls and a strike. Shane Peterson. 1-1 the count. Peterson was having a great year in AAA Colorado Springs. Earned his promotion to the big leagues. Had an OPS of 911 down in AAA this year. Had a little time with the Athletics. Big swing and a miss. 1-2 now. He appeared in just 2 games 2 years ago with Oakland. Interesting that he started both of those games at first base. Just an outfielder with the Brewers. Did get a start as the designated hitter. And he's making his 5th start for the Brewers here tonight.
Does it surprise you that the Brewers aren't bunting here? It does me a little bit. Trying to get Ramirez into scoring position. I guess Craig Counsell is figuring he'd rather take 3 whacks at it, maybe get an extra base hit. It's going to take a very long double or a triple to score Ramirez from first base.
Two and two the count on Peterson. Bouncing ball, chance to turn it. And Peterson able to leg it out, and the throw gets by, and now Peterson on his way to second. He will make it. A throwing error by the Nationals sets up the Brewers with the go-ahead run here in scoring position.
That's a real good trade, too. If you're going to make it out, you'd rather have Peterson at second base than Aramis Ramirez, a little bit more speed. Not able to pick the in-between hop. Got off the helmet of Shane Peterson. That ball hit the ground off of Robinson's gloves and hits Peterson right in the head, and he's still able to get into second base.
That'll be a throwing error on Rendon. And Peterson with good speed at second for Gene Segura. Brewers a chance to take the lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Milwaukee at one point was down 5-1 in this game.
That's actually better than the bunt. You'd rather have Peterson at second base than Ramirez. Better speed.
Segura gets sawed off, fouls it away. No balls and 2 strikes on Segura. Brewers looking for a big hit. Nationals coming here in first place. Brewers are facing a string of contenders, starting with St. Louis, a first place team, and then the Twins, who were in first place when that series began, and then the Pirates, of course, in second in the Central. The Nationals up a half game on the Mets. Ground ball right side. Gloved over there by Robinson. The play at first in time for the out.
Well, not by much. Segura just humping it down there to first base. That's a nice play by Robinson. Not sure if Rendon is going to be able to make that play, but a good throw to first gets him by half a step. See what they elect to do with Scooter here.
Well, wouldn't this be something for Jeanette?
You got Jason Rogers as well on the bench.
Jeanette in his return to the big leagues. Got a chance to give the Brewers the lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Peterson at third. Jeanette, a swing and a miss. He had made his mind up. Go ahead run 90 feet away. Aaron Barrett deals. Jeanette shoots it inside the bag. Foul ball. Peterson scores. And Scooter Jeanette gives the Brewers the lead 6-5 here in the 8th.
Yeah, that's a good way to come back right there. A little slice job inside the third baseline. Check this out. I mean, that's the thing of beauty right there for Jeanette. Inside the bag. And Shane Peterson able to score. The Brewers take the lead. That's a nice at bat by Jeanette. Just slices it by Escobar, who was in with the bag.
Well, how good does that feel for Scooter Jeanette? He's got a wry smile. Knows he got jammed, but he's able to get the job done. And the Brewers now have a 6-5 lead. 5 unanswered runs for Milwaukee. Hernan Perez will bat, pinch hitting in his Miller Park debut as a Brewer. Brewers picking him up from the Tigers. They claimed him off waivers. Has 1 hit this season in a pinch hit role. Perez had to stay in the big leagues with the Tigers. He's out of minor league options. And so once Detroit did try to send him down, clear him through waivers and send him down, the Brewers, who had the first crack because at the time they had the worst record, they claimed him quickly. That was on June 2nd. Perez spent most of last season at AAA Toledo with the Tigers. And he swung the bat well. He hit .287. He's an excellent defensive player. Shortstop by trade.
You can play him anywhere in the infield, but he's going to have to hit.
We got a possible injury situation here. The pitching coach, Steve McCatty, joined by Matt Williams, athletic trainers, on his way out as well. Not sure what they see, but there's something that's got their attention with Aaron Barrett.
I think maybe he did something when he was covering first on that ball that Segura hit.
It's been a familiar scene with the Washington Nationals this season. They have had a ton of injuries to deal with. Impressive they've been able to stay in first place.
Well, Barrett wants to stay in. Steve McCatty saying, no, you're not. They're just trying to find out who's going to win this battle. Normally it's going to be the coach.
And Williams is going to take the ball from him. So we're going to have a pitching change due to injury. And Matt Williams wanting a right-hander. If they give us a report before we leave the air, we'll certainly pass it along. But Aaron Barrett exits this game with an apparent injury. Looks like Casey Janssen is coming on to pitch. Now, he was not throwing in the bullpen. He'll get as much time as he needs here. He will have to warm up on the big league mound, but he'll get all that he needs to get ready. We're with 2 outs here in the 8th inning, and the Brewers have taken the lead. We'll take a break. Brewers the lead just a moment ago. A single just inside the bag at third. That scored Peterson. A 2-out RBI hit for Scooter Gennett. Casey Janssen is on the mound to pitch. He's another guy that has spent some time on the disabled list this year. Had a shoulder injury at the beginning of the season. And he gets ready quickly, but still going to get more than the 8 pitches that relievers usually get to get ready, because Aaron Barrett exits with an apparent injury. So Casey Janssen making his 9th appearance for the Nats, former Blue Jay.
And another guy that pitched in yesterday's game, a scoreless inning. Veteran of 8 major league seasons, got great control, good walk to strikeout ratio. Not a hard thrower. Has a variety of different off-speed pitches, including a slider, a curveball, and a changeup. He throws in the upper 80s, low 90s.
Hernan Perez pinch hitting. Now Scooter Gennett coming up with a big hit. Rock has to feel so good for him. You know, he gets sent down, he does his work, he gets a chance back in the big leagues, and to be in a spot like this and then to deliver in a spot like this, driving in the go-ahead run in the bottom of the 8th.
And those were kind of big hits he was getting last year. I mean, using the whole field. I mean, taking a pitch that was middle in and pulling the hands in and just slicing it in fair territory inside that third base bag. That's a big hit for the Brewers. Big hit for Jeanette, giving him some confidence going forward.
Washington, after a 3-run 4th inning, the Brewers committing a couple of errors in that inning, led 5-1. And then Milwaukee immediately got 2 in the bottom of the 4th. RBIs from Ramirez and Peterson. Added 1 in the 5th on an RBI single by Lynn. That came with 2 outs. A homer by Parra tied it in the 7th, and then Jeanette with a 2-out RBI single to give him the lead. Casey Jansen ready to go. Perez in a 2-0 count at the plate. Aaron Barrett leaving this game with an injury mid-count. And that's ball 4. So Perez draws the walk. First and second with 2 outs. Top of the order coming up, Jonathan Lucroy. Lucroy hitting in the leadoff spot tonight. By the way, that walk will be charged to Barrett. And officially his base runner at first, and leaving in the middle of the count. 2 on, 2 away. Lucroy trying to add to the lead.
And Lucroy's due. Hitless in his last 3 games.
Tonight he's 0 for 4. He did score a run in the 5th inning. He reached on a fielder's choice in that inning. And Lucroy on the ground, and that will end the inning. However, the Brewers take the lead. Scooter Jeanette drives in a run. Now Francisco Rodriguez on for the save. The Brewers mounting the comeback, and they finish it off here in the 9th. It's 6-5 going to the 9th. Chance to close out the Nats. Brewers baseball tonight presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. Hernan Perez will remain in the game to play third base after his pinch hit appearance. Ramos Ramirez is out. Here is Francisco Rodriguez. He is 12 for 12 in save opportunities and has been extremely efficient this season for the Brew Crew.
Has not been scored on in his last 5 outings, and tossed a 3-up, 3-down 9th inning for his 12th save of the year Tuesday at Pittsburgh. Got the bottom of the Nationals order.
Clint Robinson was at the plate when Harper was caught stealing last inning. Right now, Will Smith is in line for the win. At the plate, presented by Wendy's. For Clint Robinson, 2 hits, including his first major league homer.
They're expecting him to pull the baseball on the ground.
Way out front. A ball and a strike. Now the Brewers coming off a 5-4 road trip, facing all contending teams. This would be some kind of comeback tonight. Brewers did not play well early in this game. 3 errors. Just looked a little out of it to start it, but they rallied it. And the offense got going. The Brewers able to score 5 unanswered runs. K-Rod deals a 2-1 strike.
Yep, right at the top of the zone. Another changeup. Changeup has been outstanding for K-Rod all season long, and he's been able to locate his fastball pretty well.
Two and two. He went with a fastball that time, and Clint Robinson did well just to foul that pitch off.
Yep. Thought he was sitting on the changeup. It looked like he was. Well, you're throwing 90 miles an hour. You can sit change and still get a piece of it.
Two on the ground, little cue shot. The only infielder on that side is Perez. No problem. 1 away. A 5-3 put out. Perez, the third baseman, sliding over into that spot with the shift.
Changeup so tough on young hitters and hitters that have never seen Frankie before.
Michael Taylor now. Michael Taylor hit a game-tying home run in Yankee Stadium yesterday. That was a 2-run shot. He is a fastball hitter, and Frankie Rodriguez certainly knows that.
Starting with a breaking pitch. Taylor takes a hack up there. He doesn't get cheated. You can see why he has so much power.
He's had 5 home runs this year. 1 out of 3 tonight, including a line out. There's a changeup. Strike. 0-2 the count. .33-year-old Rodriguez, 24-year-old Taylor, just his 2nd season in the big leagues. And the 0-2 is hit sharply, gloved by Perez. What a play! 2 outs.
And they stick him in the game for defense, and they hit 2 of them right at him. What a cue shot! What a bullet! Check this out. Nice soft hands on a tricky hop, and able to make a nice throw to first.
Oh, that was smooth. Even in slow motion, that ball was
nice soft hands
on Perez in a hurry. Beautiful throw. 2 up, 2 down. K-Rod and out away. Ian Desmond off the bench for Washington. Their starting shortstop. Getting his first day off here today. And he swings and lines it. Oh, just over the reach of Segura. Desmond comes on and delivers with a single. A pinch hit single to keep the Nats' hopes alive here in Milwaukee.
They hit it like a bullet, and Gene Segura just a little bit late on the leap, and that ball gets by him. Would have been a heck of a catch.
So the tying run is at first. The go-ahead run at the plate. Matt Williams is back at the top of his order now. And Bernard Span who has been his best hitter tonight. 3 hits, 3 out of 4, driven in a run. He scored twice. One ball, no strikes. Span takes a ball, 2-0 the count. Rodriguez 12 for 12 save opportunities this season. Had a couple on the road trip. That's how the tying run at first. Here's a 2-0. Span takes. Gets a strike.
Fastball right on the edge at 88 miles an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, look, that was off the plate. Not even close. There's a break.
In a relatively tight zone tonight, but that one opened up. Brewers got a break with that call from Tim Welke. Span rolls over one. Whistle good. Lynn to the bag. And the Brewers win. A comeback tonight. Ties the biggest comeback of the season. They were down 5-1 after 3.5 innings. 5 unanswered. Parra had the big homer that tied it. Scooter Gennett with the 2-out RBI single that gives him the win. 6-5 the final score. Will Smith the winner. K-Rod picks up his 13th save. He is perfect. 13 for 13 this year. Aaron Barrett suffers loss. It's time for Brewers Live. Let's check in with Craig Deshawn. What do you have, Craig?
All right, Brian, what a way to start the homestand. Very positive for this Brewer team. 3 more to go against the Nationals, who will preview it all and hear from the Brewer crew, Craig Counsell. All the winners coming up on Brewers Live postgame.